Every year, the figure skaters at Charlesmore Arena put on a spring show. This year's show is called Icons on Ice, which is a celebration of musical icons. So much hard work from the coaches, skaters, and parents make this show happen. And I will be showing you the behind the scenes. I have met with 3 of my fellow soloists, and they will be explaining what the show is and their favorite parts of it. What are your names and how long have you been skating for?
I'm Amari Reservini, and I've been skating since I was in second grade.
My name is Ashley Tortora, and I've been skating since I was 3 years old. My name is Morgan Philbrick, and I have been skating for 13 years.
Could you just talk about the show and what it's like to be in it?
The show is everyone's favorite part of the year. It's really exciting, like getting to see all of the costumes and all the numbers and trying them on, and all the practices. Like, we're at the rink every single day. Like, it's really exciting, and being with all your friends, it's just a really fun time.
Well, there's 2 weeks of show practice, and meanwhile, like, the coaches figure out this like months in advance, so it's kind of like a long process. But we are at the rink every single day for the next 2 weeks. We have practices from like early to like 3:45. We have some practices that end at 7. So it's just a long time at the rink, and it all comes together, like, if I'm being so honest, the last week of practice. But it's worth it.
How many numbers are you in?
I'm in 4 numbers. 2 opening numbers, and Queen and Court, and my solo.
What do the different numbers mean?
Opening number is the opening number to the show. You have to pass freestyle 5. It's the first number of the whole show. And then we have a break, and there's a second opening number, so it's the second. Queen and Court is 6 to 5 members of high schoolers from any school, and you get like a vote for who's in like the actual court, and then once you find out the top 5 or 6, you vote for the queen. I feel very honored to be this year's queen because it's something that, like, I don't know, like a lot of kids look up to you, and it makes you feel good about yourself.
There's 2 ways you can really get a solo. One, by passing a test in skating called Freestyle 7, and another passing a test called Intermediate Free Skate, which are both really big tests in skating, and you have to have 2 doubles and 1 in combination and just a bunch of stuff, and it's kind of hard to get.
What are your solos this year?
And I'm skating to Aretha Franklin. It's really fast and it's really fun, and I'm really excited because it's not like numbers I usually skate to. It's more like upbeat, so it's just kind of something different, and it's really fun.
I'm skating to Whitney Houston, and I skate to One Moment at a Time. For my solo, I'm doing Elton John. You can see it. Yeah, there it's Elton, and I ordered at the Chocolate Sparrow with my also fellow skating friends.
What's your favorite part of the show?
My favorite part of the show is not actually the show itself, but I like when we go out to dinner together, when we go out to breakfast, like the day of dress rehearsal, because I also like dress rehearsal because it's really fun and less stressful than the actual show. Just stressful, like having to go to all the practices and having to remember all your numbers and like doing homework at the same time. Like, it's just kind of hard, but it's okay.
My favorite part of the show is, I have to say, like, the second, like, there's 2 weeks in show practice. I'd have to say my favorite is the second week, because that's when they usually build the stage on the ice, and like we all like walk on it, and it's like really fun. So I think definitely the practices, but like the practices right before the show, because the solos do like a special little like practice before, and it's just really fun. But I would definitely say dress rehearsal is the most fun. If I'm being honest, my favorite part of the show is the food. Before the show, the day before the show, we get breakfast and dinner, and then we eat good breakfast the day of the show, and then we go out to dinner both show nights, I think. And it's just so nice.
This is Tony Philbrick. She's very involved in lower key figure skating, and she makes everyone dresses, and she made all of the soloist dresses for the show. What made you start making all these dresses?
Well, when my daughter started learning to skate, my youngest would always want a dress, so I made her a dress for fun. And then a coach asked me to make her daughter a dress, and then I tried it out, and it just happened and went on from there. I love doing it, and it kept going. Now I make it for everyone, and I love it.
How long does it usually take to make a dress?
It depends on the amount of beading, how long it takes to make the dress. It depends on details. It can take anywhere from 12 hours to 20 hours. It just kind of really depends.
How does it feel to watch a show come together as a parent's perspective?
Awesome. It's awesome. A lot of hard work gets put into it, and all of the skaters pull it off. They have the best time, and it's just great.
The coaches are really what makes the show come together. They prepare for many hours to make it all come together, and they pull it off so well. So I met with a coach, and she will explain how she makes the show come together and why she loves it so much. What made you decide to be a coach?
I've always wanted to become a coach because I've grown up skating and always wanted to share my passion with other people. And that you can do that very well by coaching. And so once I was old enough to become a coach, I got my coaching license, and here we are.
How do you guys all put the show together?
All the coaches get together and we think of a theme, select music, and get the group together months in advance. Then we create the choreography and teach it to all the skaters in only 2 weeks. We put all our hard work and so much effort in to make it come together so quickly, to be something we're so proud of.
What is your favorite part of the show?
My favorite part of the show is watching how all these skaters can pick up choreography so fast and perform it so well on their own, no matter what age they are or what level they're at. All of the skaters love the show so much, and I love seeing how happy and excited everyone is. And I also love watching my own skaters and how much we've grown and learned in the past year.
All in all, the show is just so fun. It's a great way to wrap up our amazing season that we've all had together, and it just makes us all have so many great memories, and it's just the best.
Why was Fritz wanted here in the town of Harwich?
So, Massachusetts legislation decriminalized marijuana for people 21 and above, and the police dogs that we used to use, the traditional ones that would come into the schools, they were no longer being trained to detect marijuana. Myself and administration had identified an issue that with the students, marijuana and vaping seemed to be a big problem, so we thought, why not get a dog and train that dog to detect vaping products and marijuana? So that's what we did with Fritz.
Do you think having Fritz in the industry we are in is good?
Yes, 100%.
Yes.
Yeah, I think he's a good daily reminder and deterrent to try to discourage kids to use marijuana and vaping products.
I think Fritz has been a great addition to our building because even if he doesn't find what he is trained to find, he's a detriment to kids and makes them think twice about bringing stuff in.
We, as a school system and as a high school, I think we have a responsibility to keep our school safe. and that means substance-free.
And he's also like a de facto comfort dog, where I have a lot of kids approach me and say that just seeing Fritz in the hallway is like the best part of their day. So I think he provides like a nice atmosphere of positivity, and he also serves as a reminder to try to stay healthy and not get involved with some of that dangerous, unhealthy behavior.
Not only is he effective at what he does, and he's also effective in eliminating some bad choices made by students.
I think it's a great preventative measure. It's not a perfect scenario, but I think Fritz is a great preventative measure to limit the amount of nicotine and marijuana that's coming into our building.
What was the process in getting and training Fritz?
Okay, so back in June of 2020, we went down to a place called Shallow Creek Kennels. It's a police vendor in Pennsylvania. They import police dogs to be used for detection and patrol. Fritz is a 4-year-old German short-haired pointer from Hungary. Shallow Creek Kennels imported him from Hungary. So we went down and selected Fritz as a detection dog. Then we came back up here and
I mean, unfortunately, Officer Clark doesn't take care of him like Dr. Otto and I do, because we have drawers full of treats, and he gets mad at us because we hand him out. But no, your dad does a great job taking care of him. He is just, you know, you see him at lunch with kids, and they always go up to him, and you know, he's so polite, and he's expecting something in return. But you know, I know Dr. Otto and I definitely give him a little bit extra, which we get in trouble for by your dad. All right. Hey, sit down. Nope, sit down. Good boy. Good boy.
that's how you do it. That's the obedience right there.
And now I'm going to give him this.
Obedience 101.
Sit. Down. Good boy.
Textbook.
Good boy.
Fritzy, good boy. So we picked up Fritz at Shallow Creek Kennels in Pennsylvania. We came back up to Massachusetts. He trained with the Plymouth County Canine Unit, where that was about 3 months or 12 weeks of scent detection training. We basically introduced and imprinted marijuana and vaping products to him. And he is a passive alert dog, which means he sits or lays down, and then he will nose punch where the source of the odor is. That's a passive alert. That's what he does.
Is he trained well?
Yeah, Fritz, to maintain his certification, he has to train a minimum of 16 hours a month. We basically train almost every day. His accuracy is really quite impressive.
Yes, he's trained very well.
Yes, of course. So Fritz was, so initially, when your dad first took Fritz home, there was a very extensive summer training that happened, and I believe it happened in Plymouth. You could double check with him, but I'm pretty sure that it was out of Plymouth. And he was extensively trained, and he was initially, I think he was food trained. He was initially trained to be a food-driven dog, and as that motivation started to wear off a little bit, now he's a toy-driven dog, so he's motivated by his toys.
Every time we take him through classrooms, whether he finds something or not, we always set something up at the end of it, and he immediately finds it. So it's amazing, and even students that see it are like, wow, that's pretty fast. He's actually really great at what he does.
So it wasn't just like a once and done training. Fritz and your dad are going to training, so like it's like a recertification all the time, because it's really important, because dogs get bored too, that they get retrained and remotivated to stay active. So I do think he's well trained.
He's on duty with me all the time, but when we go home, he's just like any other dog, any other pet. He just loves to play with the tennis balls, the sticks, his Kong toys, with his four-legged siblings. So he's just like any other normal dog in the shower. Pretty good, right? Edit that out. Alright, so speaking of that 100,000 times where the dog's nose is more sensitive than a human's, his nose was put to the test a few weeks ago. Barnstable Police Department was doing a program on vaping, and they had this bag that is advertised as odor-proof and smell-proof. So we put some vapes in the bag and we ran him through the gym. He alerted and hit on it immediately. So that just shows how impressive his nose is.
Do you think the school environment would be different if Fritz worked here?
I do.
Yes. Yep. I think there'd be a lot worse choices made by students. Again, he's a great deterrent to kids. So I think having him, just the presence of having him around, just really makes kids think twice whether or not they're going to bring certain inappropriate paraphernalia into the building. So he's just such a good dog, and he's great to have.
I think that one thing that people fail to realize about Fritz, that it's not just about the fact that he's a marijuana and nicotine sniffing dog, right? There's one thing that he also brings to our school, which is care and comfort, right? And I think in a time where, we're also navigating a mental health crisis, not just a substance abuse crisis, but I think Fritz provides some comfort and care to students as a therapy dog too. So I think that our school environment would be different in a lot of ways without him.
What is it like having Fritz at home when not on duty?
The cool thing with Fritz is that he's my partner, so he's with me all the time, 24 hours a day. So whether we're on duty working at school or even off duty at home, he's with me, he comes home with me, and he's just like a regular family pet when he's not working. Tell everybody this is water, not gas, okay?
Is there another Fritz in the other schools on the Cape?
I don't think on the Cape. There are other vape detection dogs like Fritz throughout the country, but I think he's the only dog of his type on Cape Cod.
He's a good dog, and it's a good program at the high school to keep the kids drug-free and healthy.
Yeah, so Fritz comes by my room every day and waits till he can get his peanut butter and banana treats that he will stop at my door and wait for every day. And sometimes, depending on if Officer Clark wants to let him have one, he gets one. Otherwise, he keeps on walking.
I love him. Just kidding. I love Fritz. He's the best dog ever. I love him.
Fritz is awesome.
My thoughts on Fritz, Samantha Clark, is he's the cutest little thing ever. He's a good boy. We love Fritz here. Too bad he can't come into our cafeteria. Then we could give him snacks all day long.
I like Fritz. He's a good dog. He's really good for all the students. Everyone seems very happy.
Being physically healthy and active can cause major effects to people's everyday lives. They are mostly positive, but some may be negative while they're trying to gain physical health. I'll be going in depth on people's perspective of these effects and seeing the true effects of being physically active, and also seeing their opinions of being physically healthy.
Hello, my name is Dom Sylvester.
Hi, my name is Jason Villani.
Hello, my name is Sean Needham.
My name's Stacy Arnold.
Not all people start out healthy. They have to work to gain that physical health. Now I'll be looking at why these people decided to start becoming physically healthy.
I think it was mostly because, I want to prepare for hockey next season, and I also value my self-care, and health.
What made me start wanting to become physically active was my drive in basketball. My game overall would get the biggest improvement from lifting weights, so I decided to start doing that.
The reason I started working out is to get better at football, because my coach said, if you keep doing these workouts, hitting chest some days, I could build more muscle and get better at my sport. And it's also good to have good physical strength, to work, actually working, making money and stuff, or helping somebody out, moving or anything like that.
When people start deciding to gain physical health, their lifestyles can change in a significant way. Let's hear what people's noticed while gaining physical health.
I've been working out for over a year now, and I'll say the biggest difference is how much more athletic I have become and how much better I've become at basketball. I've also become more confident, and I feel better about myself.
Like I said earlier, it helps me focus better in school and it's everything, because I'm working out, I'm focusing on the weights I do, the amount that I do. So it helps me focus in class better and everything, and also helps me sleep better since I'll be tired. I can get more sleep in or better sleep.
I feel like the most major change is that I've been getting a lot more sleep, and my sleep schedule has been a lot steadier, and also it has boosted my performance in school. I've seen a very good incline in my grades as well as my performance.
When people are gaining physical health, there may be some other benefits besides just gaining physical health. Let's see the effects that these people have seen.
Some other things that I've noticed aside from physical health is I feel like that I've been more engaged with my family, and I've been more motivated to do things around the house and not, lay in bed all day. Been able to clean my room, do the laundry, things like that.
I'd say the biggest effect, besides just gaining more physical strength, is probably the confidence and overall feeling a lot better about myself and being able to perform in my sport at the best ability.
School is a very important part of our lifestyles, and going to the gym may have some effects on that. So let's hear what these people think.
I would say the gym has positively impacted the way I perform in school, because my reasoning for doing good in school has always been to play sports, and I feel like just being more physically active has made me a better student overall.
Working out has also helped me with school sometimes, because the workouts it's helping me train my focus, so I'm able to focus better in class and stuff and get more work done.
Does being physically healthy have any negative effects that you have noticed?
I think some negative things are it's taken time out of my parents' days to bring me to and from the gym, and if you don't work out responsibly and correctly, then you can seriously injure yourself, but most of the effects are extremely positive.
The only negative side effect I've seen from being physically active is the fact that I obsess over my schedule all the time. I kind of have OCD about it. I have to get everything done in a certain amount of time every day.
Being physically healthy does not have any disadvantages or anything. It's just the soreness after you're working out. Sure, it might hurt a little bad some days, but all you have to do is just stretch out a little and drink water and you'll be okay.
Some people think that it's okay not to be physically healthy and just do nothing. Let's hear what people that are physically healthy think that those people should do.
I do think it is important for everyone to be physically active, because everyone should just be physically active. It's a healthier lifestyle. It just makes you feel better. You have a reason to wake up early in the morning, work hard, improve on yourself rather than working for someone.
I think it is very important to stay physically healthy, because it not only keeps you and your body healthy, but it also can help build off other wellnesses such as mental health and things like that.
Now I'll be going in depth with the health teacher here at Monomoy Regional High School and getting her opinions on physical health and what she thinks that people our age should do. Some people aren't physically healthy. Do you think that it is important that they change and become physically healthy, and why?
I think it's important to be physically healthy because of many factors, not only for lowering the risk of certain illnesses or diseases, but also because of self-image, being strong, maintaining a healthy weight, and just overall good health.
When people are becoming physically healthy, what are some main effects that they might notice happening to them?
All right, some of the main effects are one's overall body image, self-image. We see an increase in that. Also, like I said before, just lowering the risk for certain illnesses, muscle tone, gaining strength, flexibility. Some people do physical activity for weight loss or weight gain. So there are many benefits of physical health.
Some people don't know how to get and maintain physical health. What are the best ways to maintain physical health?
I think one of the best ways to maintain physical health is being consistent with diet, with exercise. I think it's so important to just get out and be active at least 30 minutes a day. Just finding out, the food groups, eating all the right food groups, and modifying the diet, and just staying active and doing what's best for the individual.
Overall, being physically healthy is very important, and everybody should try to apply it to their everyday lives if they haven't already.
6 in 10 Americans say social media has negatively affected their mental health. Out of these people, the most common negative effect is anxiety, which has impacted 64% of Americans who use social media. Other users experience depression, dissatisfaction with life, fear of missing out, and body images as a result of these apps. 25% don't experience negative mental health effects from social media use, while 10% don't know if their social media has negative impact on their mental health.
How do you think social media affects our daily lives?
How does social media affect our daily lives? That's a great question, Paige. Social media has definitely some good benefits, and it's fun, and it's a great way to keep in touch with friends, and I love it to get recipes and things like that. But I think that people have to be very careful of how much they're using social media. It can become a huge time issue for people. I also think it can have some negative consequences because then people are always comparing themselves to the images that they're seeing on the internet, which aren't always real. And so I think people just have to be really careful about how they use social media and making sure that they keep it in balance with the rest of their lives.
I think social media has become an obsession to adolescents, both younger and older adolescents. I think you guys can't go anywhere without your phone. I think you guys are more concerned at times with your stories, your snaps, your TikTok views, and things like that. So I think it's distracting. I think it has. I think it's definitely taking its toll on you guys. Your mental health, to be honest with you. Your access to too much information. It's not a good thing.
Why do you think students have the attraction to social media?
So a couple things. I think that kids use it for entertainment purposes, right? I think kids communicate through it the way adults probably communicate through like a text message. Kids communicate through social media apps. I think kids are attracted to it for advertisement purposes and for marketing.
Do you think social media has affected things like verbal communication?
Absolutely. I think I just shared a little bit. I think one of the primary uses for social media in kids is it's a form of communication. So I think we're seeing less and less face-to-face conversations and more kids are doing so behind a device, which is basically a social media app. Even in the hallway sometimes, as simple as just saying good morning to somebody, which I do all the time. If a student has their head in their phone, they're not even aware that I'm speaking to them. So sometimes I'll tap them and say good morning, and they're like, oh, I'm sorry, good morning. But I think face-to-face communication is sadly a secondary source, and kids tend to communicate primarily through a social media app, Snapchat, WhatsApp, etc.
What comes to mind when you hear the term mental health?
I mean, mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being, but I think for me, when I hear the term mental health, I just think of the challenges in society right now that I think people in general are feeling, to find like that balance, that well-being, that physical and emotional health. I think about society as a whole.
Do you think social media has more negative or positive effects on students?
Ooh, that's a good question. Being the old man that I am, I think negatively, I think it has a greater impact on you students, because I think, as I was saying earlier, you guys are so concerned with your, the drama of social media and the apps and things like that. I think, students really, I think what's failing in our students is the interpersonal skills, like actually having the conversation, having interviews. The interviews are a struggle for people. Someday you guys are going to be applying for college, you're going to have to go for an interview, and those skills are starting to lag. I think, another negative aspect of social media is the it's starting to make students enabled to be empathetic and be respectful. It's easy to get behind a screen or any control board and type nasty stuff without thinking about the ramifications. Whereas prior to, you didn't have to worry about that stuff. If you said something foolish, something will definitely come about it. There's a lot of public statements, but not a lot of public apologies. And I do think it, believe it or not, it creates a disconnect between reality and the world of social media. I think, it's starting to skew the line. An example is the language that sometimes people in this office speak to me with. I would never ever have my kids speak to some adults the way some kids speak to adults. So, and I think, not to keep going negative, but I think our work ethic fails because of social media. Again, some students are more concerned with their phone than they are about getting their work passed in on time.
How much of your time is spent on social media?
I'd say about 3 to 4 hours a day.
I probably spend about 2 hours on social media every day.
I spend about 1 to 2 hours on social media.
How do you feel after using social media?
Usually pretty good. It gives me a chance to see what my friends are up to, especially ones that don't live near me and that I don't get to talk to every day.
I feel pretty good. I don't really feel bad afterwards, but it's definitely not as good as doing something better with your time.
Honestly, I enjoy a more in-person kind of connection with people, so I kind of feel drained, but at the same time, I feel like I can just have a moment to myself, so it's a half and half kind of situation.
Do you think you connect better with people through social media?
I think I connect better in person, but social media has definitely helped me stay in touch with others who I won't regularly see or keep updated in my friends' lives.
I think that even though you can have good connections with people through social media, especially people over distance, the in-person connections are probably more valuable.
I wouldn't say so, no, because we create more connections through personal, like just actually talking to each other one-on-one, whereas yes, social media can be a place where we can see people far away, see family, but I don't think I connect better with people. I think it's more in person.
Throughout high school careers, many kids find themselves looking for a job and working over the summer, even some during the school year. Let's take a look into how some kids may have started working and why. Today we'll be checking out Monomoy High School and seeing the resources they supply their students to make them feel comfortable in starting a new job and finding a job. We'll also be interviewing high schoolers working summer jobs and how it may have affected their daily lives.
Hi, my name is Thomas Chase. I'm a freshman at Monomoy Regional High School, and I am employed at Chase Electric.
Hi, my name is Patrick Jordan, and I'm a freshman at Monomoy High School, and currently I work at the Run-On as a busser during the summer.
Do you work, and if so, where do you work and when do you work?
So I'm a busser and food runner at the Run-On, and I roughly work around like 25 hours per week, I'd say, during the summer.
So as I mentioned earlier, I work at Chase Electric as an assistant to my dad, who is an electrician. And I work around 45-hour weeks, and I go around helping him work on outlets and different electrical problems in people's houses.
I started roughly around the beginning of summer and like the late ends of the school year. I kind of like started working like in May on the weekends, but like when school ended, I started working like full time whenever they needed me, and yeah, I just started working then.
Many people work for many different reasons. Let's explore some of these people's reasoning. Why did you start working? What reasons did you have to start working as a teen in high school?
I work because I feel that it's going to help me build experiences through life, especially being in an electrician position. When I go up to people's houses and I'm going back and forth with the tool belts and stuff, going up to the attic and working, I feel like being able to communicate and really talking and building connections is really important. And I also feel that getting paid to do the work is helping to progress my future careers in different opportunities.
I mean, of course, I work for the money because, money's nice at my age, for teenagers. But I also work for the experience, because like sometimes in like jobs, like above, like ahead of time, like, like when I get older, they're gonna need experience, and I feel like this is a good time to get experience and money for those jobs. So I just feel like if I take a job now, I'll be prepared for like later in life.
And what do you think about the work environment that you were put into?
I mean, mostly on time to time. I mean, I'm usually not busy, it's usually busy. But when I get like the day shift, it's usually quiet, so I try to like do as much as I can or spread it out so I can like evenly distribute it. So the whole day is not boring, so it's not like a good period in the morning and then just bad during the last couple hours. I try to keep it like easy throughout, and I just feel like it's a good thing to do. Like working in the food industry gets you like real world experience, builds up relationships. I just feel like it's a good idea, and I feel like you should also do that as well.
Many people have different plans for their futures. Let's see what these students are planning to do in their future and how their work may be affecting this future. What do you plan on doing when you grow up, and what are your future plans?
For me, I don't know what I want to do when I grow up, but I want to be in a leadership position, preferably in the engineering realm. So being able to take these experiences that I've learned throughout work and apply them to real world situations is really important to me.
Well, when I was a kid, I always wanted to work as like a carpenter or something like that. But like now lately, I've been wanting to be like a businessman, and I feel like that this job, like gives me like social interaction. So like when I have start a business, I'll be able to like interact and know what they're feeling and stuff like that.
Working can affect all of us very differently. Let's see how these students think working and being in a work environment has changed their outlook on life. How has work affected your school life and your life in general?
I feel like this job has definitely impacted my life and school, because the people there give me like so good lessons. Like some of them just say stay in school and don't be like them, because they went to college. Actually, no, they just went to high school and they didn't really go to college, and their life kind of turned out So they said stick to school, go to college, and I just feel like, that they're like, I feel like the job has impacted me, and I feel like the experiences I earned like impacted how I like do stuff now.
Work has definitely affected my school life by just helping me become more organized and work on time management, especially with my essays and homeworks that are due, because by being able to get those done and on time, I have more time for me to get stuff done, just like on a job where the faster I do a job and the better I do it, the quicker I go home and the better of a review you get.
Many students have their own reason for starting a job, but many may feel pressure to starting a job at an early age. Let's look into how these people felt about starting a job at a young age. Did you feel pressured into starting a job at a young age and working in the field?
I mean, I never felt pressured. I feel like at a young age, I always wanted to get a job because I just wanted the money, you know. As a kid, I was like, ooh, money, 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 you know. I just wanted to get money. And I didn't feel pressure at all. My parents were like, okay, you want a job, you can get a job, or you don't want to get a job, you can't. But I always thought I always wanted a job for the experience and money.
For me, I didn't feel pressured to start this job because it's family business, and my dad was really supportive of making sure that I was ready to work, and with the range of tools that I had, I was definitely able to pick a different job if I didn't want to be an assistant electrician.
Now, let's go check this out from the perspective of an unemployed high schooler trying to get employed for the summer. How do you think your life has been without being in the working environment, and how do you think it would affect your life if you were to start working?
So not working gives me a lot of free time, and I can just do what I want. I can hang out with friends, I can sleep in, but working, it would definitely make me busier, and it would give me something to look forward to every day. So yeah.
Has it been hard for you to find a job, or are you nervous to find a job and see what it may bring?
It's been really hard to find a job. A lot of places are hiring because of the summer, but I know places fill up fast, so I gotta get first come, first serve. And am I nervous? Heck yeah, I'm nervous. It's my first job, so yeah, it's gonna be fun though.
Thank you for watching this documentary about young adults and their jobs. Hopefully you enjoyed and learned a lot more about young adults and how they operate life with a job or without it.